Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Yeah, hello again. We're excited to dive into today's session. It actually comes straight from a SpeakDuo lesson.
That's right. And, for anyone looking to boost their English speaking confidence, maybe connect with people globally, you can check out SpeakDuo.com, you join video calls, you practice. It's honestly a great way to test your skills in, real time.
Absolutely. So today, we're focusing on some, pretty advanced English expressions. They're really useful for refining your language.
Making things sound a bit more precise.
Exactly. Let's just jump straight into our first phrase.
All right, let's unpack this. First up, to be on thin ice. Now, I think most people get being in trouble, but on thin ice feels like it has this extra layer, a kind of urgency, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
The basic meaning is, being in a risky or dangerous spot, usually socially or maybe at work. But the nuance compared to just being in trouble is interesting. In trouble kind of suggests consequences might have already happened or you're definitely in a bad spot.
Okay.
Whereas on thin ice really emphasizes the precariousness, the imminent danger. You're right at that point where just one more little slip up.
And things could go really wrong.
Exactly. Could lead to severe repercussions.
Right.
It's like you're actually walking on ice that feels like it could break any second. It's that moment before the potential fall.
That's such a good visual. That feeling of holding your breath right, knowing the next step is crucial. So, okay, in a practical sense, maybe at work, you might hear something like, after missing deadlines on those two big projects, she's really on thin ice with her boss.
Yeah.
One more slip up and she might face serious repercussions.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Captures it perfectly. And, for listeners maybe prepping for language exams like IELTS,
Good point.
a response might sound like, last semester I was on thin ice after I failed 2 assignments. I knew I had to, drastically improve my performance to avoid academic probation. It just nails that feeling of teetering on the edge.
Excellent example. Okay, let's shift gears.
Yeah.
Next phrase. To stumble into something. This one, for me, immediately brings up this idea of accident, unplanned, not deliberate discovery.
Exactly right. The meaning is basically getting involved in something by accident without any planning.
Yeah.
And if you compare it to, say, to discover something, the key difference is that accidental, unplanned nature.
Right.
I mean, discovering something could be intentional, like, discovering a research finding after hard work.
Sure.
Or it could be accidental, like finding an old photo. But stumble into specifically means you lacked intention or foresight about becoming part of whatever it is, an event, a situation, even a career path. It's more passive, almost like you tripped into it.
Yeah, like you weren't looking for it, it just sort of happened to you. Okay, let's hear some examples, maybe in a chat with colleagues.
You could hear, I never actually intended to work in marketing, but a friend needed some help with a small campaign, and I just sort of stumbled into a passion for it.
That's a great one. Shows how things can take unexpected turns. And for that IELTS-style response.
You can maybe say something like, yes, actually, once I stumbled into a wedding, I thought it was a conference.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty awkward, but also kind of funny once the confusion cleared up. Really highlights that unplanned accidental entry.
Definitely memorable. Okay, third phrase. A stroke of good fortune. We all like good luck, but this phrase feels, a bit more dramatic maybe. Special emphasis.
It absolutely does. It means a sudden piece of luck. And yeah, it takes good luck a step further. A stroke of good fortune really highlights the sudden, unexpected, and often pretty significant nature of a lucky event.
Okay, so not just things went well.
No, it suggests more like a single, impactful moment. Circumstances just suddenly align perfectly in your favor. It's not usually about a general run of good luck or something you achieve through, sheer hard work. It's that wow moment of pure luck, often with a big positive effect.
Like the universe just gave you a little nudge, something out of the blue, but it really changes things. So maybe in a work context, a boss might say.
Right, like landing that major client right after our competitor pulled out. That was a true stroke of good fortune for the whole sales team.
Perfect. Highlights that specific game-changing moment. And in an IELTS answer, maybe something more personal.
Yeah, you could share something like, meeting a mentor who guided me through my first job search. That was definitely my biggest stroke of good fortune. Their advice was just invaluable. It's more than just general luck. It feels like a defining lucky break.
Great distinction. Okay, next up, an expression for that intense curiosity. Dying to know something. We've all felt this, right? That almost painful anticipation.
Oh, absolutely. The meaning's straightforward. really, really eagerly wanting to find something out.
But how's it different from just, say, being curious?
Well, dying to know is much stronger, more intense. There's an urgency to it almost. It goes way beyond simple interest. It carries that sense of impatience, excitement. Like the suspense is almost unbearable. You need to know.
Yeah, it's that feeling when you're just bursting with the need for information, not just interested, but really buzzing. So, chatting with colleagues again.
You might hear, everyone in the office is dying to know what the new project announcement is going to be. The rumors are absolutely flying.
That captures that collective buzz perfectly. And for an IELTS response, maybe about exam results.
Yeah, a common one. I'm dying to know the results of my exam. Honestly, I've been checking my email like constantly since I finished it. That urgency really comes through.
Definitely relatable. Okay, our fifth phrase. Try something on for size. This always makes me think of clothes shopping, but it's obviously broader.
That's actually a perfect analogy, and it helps understand the nuance. The meaning is basically to test an idea, a proposal, a suggestion, see how it works.
Right.
Now compare that to just planning or considering something. Those are often just mental exercises, right?
Mm-hmm.
But trying something on for size implies actually doing something experimentally, a provisional test run. It's about actively testing an idea in a limited way. You want to see if it's viable, if it's effective, before you commit fully, just like trying on clothes before you buy them.
It's like the pilot program stage. You're not all in, but you're getting real feedback. So at work, a boss might suggest.
Exactly. Before we fully commit to the new software, let's try this plan on for size with a small pilot team for, say, a week and gather some feedback.
Perfect illustration of that try before you buy approach. And for IELTS, maybe about a personal project.
Sure, you could say, yes, I actually tested a side project for about a month before deciding to launch it officially. Really wanted to try it on for size, see if there was a genuine market or demand for it. It's about testing the waters.
Makes sense. Okay, next one feels quite positive. To root for someone, this isn't just watching, is it? It feels more active, more emotional.
Definitely not passive. The meaning is to support or wish success for
Right.
someone or something. But let's distinguish it from just supporting or observing.
Okay.
To root for specifically implies that active emotional encouragement, you're cheering them on, you have this strong, often quite passionate desire for them to succeed, especially if it's like a competition.
Right.
While support can be practical, maybe financial, or even just passive agreement, rooting for suggests you're really enthusiastic, emotionally invested. Is wanting someone to win so badly it almost feels personal.
That's a great way to put it, that emotional investment. You're not just a spectator, you're involved. So at work, maybe even talking about a rival team.
Yeah, showing good spirit. Like, even though they're technically a rival department, we're all rooting for Sarah's team to hit that really challenging sales target this quarter.
Precise example of workplace support. And for IELTS, maybe talking about sports or competition.
Yeah, expressing a preference. I usually root for the underdog, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Their wins just feel more exciting, more inspiring somehow. There's something special about seeing someone overcome the odds. It really conveys that active emotional connection.
Absolutely. Okay, phrase number 7 is one to handle with care, maybe? It's quite specific. To hit on someone.
Yes, this one's important to understand correctly. The meaning is to flirt with someone or show clear romantic interest.
Not just being friendly.
Exactly. Let's contrast it with, say, complimenting someone or just showing general interest. To hit on someone specifically means making romantic or maybe sexual overtures. The intention is clearly to start something flirtatious or romantic.
Right.
A compliment can be totally platonic or professional.
Yeah.
Showing interest could be about their job, their ideas, anything. But hitting on, someone points directly to romantic or flirtatious intent. It's making that specific kind of move.
Got it. So in just a general chat, you might hear, he tried to hit on her at the party, like asking for her number right after they met, but she wasn't interested at all.
That example clearly shows the romantic attempt. And for an IELTS response, maybe reflecting personally, you could say something like, honestly, if someone tries to hit on me, I usually just sort of laugh it off, unless I happen to be genuinely interested myself.
Yeah.
It's all pretty harmless in, social settings. Acknowledges the action and the reaction.
Okay, useful distinction. Now coming up next, cry wolf. This is such a classic idiom. Carries a real warning about credibility, doesn't it?
It really does. The meaning to raise a false alarm so often that people eventually stop believing you.
Yeah, the boy who cried wolf.
Exactly. And thinking bigger picture, it's different from just complaining a lot or simply lying. Cry wolf specifically focuses on the consequence of those repeated false warnings.
Which is?
The erosion of trust. Your credibility disappears. And the big danger is that when a real problem, a real danger finally arrives, your genuine warnings get ignored.
Because you've used up all your credibility.
Precisely. It's not just about the false alarm itself, that critical loss of faith in anything you say later.
That's the core of it, the lost trust. So at work, you might warn someone. Look, if you keep crying wolf about every tiny technical glitch, nobody's going to take you seriously when a real system failure actually happens.
Very practical application. Or, in an IELTS answer, maybe talking about a past experience. Yeah, I knew a classmate who used to exaggerate everything and basically cry wolf about deadlines all the time. Eventually, nobody really trusted him when he claimed he genuinely needed an extension. Illustrates that loss of credibility perfectly.
Makes the point very clearly. All right, our final phrase for this deep dive is a heavy one. To live in infamy. This isn't just being remembered badly. It sounds much more significant, like a permanent stain.
That's exactly right. It's a powerful phrase. It means to be remembered for something truly shameful or disastrous.
So more than just unpopular.
Oh, much more. Let's distinguish it from just being remembered negatively or even just being famous. To live in infamy implies this really strong, lasting, widespread negative memory, often for some act of terrible disgrace, betrayal, or a huge misfortune.
A permanent mark on history, almost.
Yes, like a permanent stain on a reputation or on history itself. It's way beyond just being disliked, and it's the polar opposite of being famous in a good way. It really evokes this sense of enduring historical condemnation.
Wow. Okay, so it's reserved for really major negative events or actions. In a work context, maybe referring to a corporate disaster.
Exactly, you might hear the company's decision to cut corners on safety, the one that led to that disastrous accident, that will unfortunately live in infamy within the industry.
Conveys that lasting shame. And for an IELTS response, maybe discussing major historical events.
Definitely. You could say something like, the 2008 financial crisis will certainly live in infamy as a period of huge economic turmoil and, its lasting global impact. It highlights those events that become synonymous with disaster or disgrace.
Understood. Okay, that's a lot of great phrases. Now, to help make sure these really stick, let's do a quick quiz.
Yeah, good idea. Listen closely to the questions and the options. See how many you get right. It's a good chance to check your understanding of those nuances we talked about.
All right, question number 1. What does it mean to be on thin ice at work? Is it? Option A, to be in a confusing or unclear position. Option B, to be close to making a risky decision. Or option C, to be in a socially or professionally dangerous spot. Feel free to pause here if you need a second to think about on thin ice.
Okay, the correct answer is option C, to be in a socially or professionally dangerous spot. Remember we talked about that precarious situation like with the boss after missing deadlines. That's being on thin ice.
Perfect. Moving on, question number 2. What does it mean to stumble into something? Is it option A, to discover something new by trying hard? Option B, to get involved in something by accident? Or option C, to intentionally walk away from responsibility? Take a moment. What does stumble into something mean?
The correct answer here is option B, to get involved in something by accident. Like that example of accidentally ending up at a wedding instead of a conference.
Yeah.
You stumbled into it.
Exactly. Question 3. What is a stroke of good fortune? Option A, a sudden and unexpected moment of luck. Option B, a deliberate action that guarantees success. Or option C, an earned reward from hard work and effort. What do you think a stroke of good fortune really means? Pause if you need to.
And the answer is option A, a sudden and unexpected moment of luck. Remember landing that big client right when needed. That was a real stroke of good fortune.
Nailed it. Question number 4. What does it mean to be dying to know something? Option A, to anxiously wait for something uncomfortable. Option B, to be very curious or eager to find something out. Or option C, to regret not asking about something important. What are you dying to know about this answer? Take your time.
Right. The answer is option B, to be very curious or eager to find something out. Like desperately waiting for those exam results you're dying to know.
Absolutely. Okay, question 5. What does try something on for size mean? Option A, to briefly attempt something new or unfamiliar. Option B, to strongly commit to an untested decision. Or option C, to criticize something before fully understanding it. Think about try something on for size. Feel free to pause.
The correct one is option A, to briefly attempt something new or unfamiliar, like testing that new software with a small team first. You try it on for size.
Great. Question 6. If you root for someone, what are you doing? Option A, you observe them quietly from a distance. Option B, you advise them to avoid difficult choices. Or option C, you support or cheer them on actively. What does it mean to root for someone? Pause and think.
Okay, the answer is option C. You support or cheer them on actively. Remember that feeling of really wanting your team or even the underdog to win? That's rooting for them.
Exactly that passionate support. Question 7. What does it mean to cry wolf? Option A, to share emotional news to gain sympathy. Option B, to cause panic with false warnings too often. Or option C, to complain loudly about a real problem. What happens when someone cries wolf? Take a moment.
The answer is option B. To cause panic with false warnings too often and lose credibility, like warning about minor glitches constantly. If you keep crying wolf, people stop listening.
The key is that loss of trust. All right, final question, number 8. What does it mean to live in infamy? Option A, to quietly reflect on a failed opportunity. Option B, to be remembered for something disgraceful. Or option C, to be forgotten despite past achievements. Last one. What does it truly mean to live in infamy? Pause here if you need to think it over.
And the correct answer is option B. To be remembered for something disgraceful. Like that major scandal or the financial crisis we mentioned, those events live in infamy.
And that wraps up our deep dive into these advanced English phrases, all sourced from SpeakDuo. How did you all do on the quiz? We really hope you found these explanations, and especially the nuances, helpful.
Yeah, understanding these small differences, it really can elevate your communication. Helps you express yourself with, much greater precision and impact. It's all about getting those subtle layers of meaning.
Absolutely. And don't forget, you can really cement this learning and build your confidence by visiting SpeakDuo.com. It's genuinely a fantastic way to put these exact phrases into practice, in real conversations with actual people from all over the world.
Practice really does make perfect, doesn't it? And SpeakDuo gives you that space to meet people, speak English in real time, get feedback, build that fluency.
So we'd love to hear from you. Did any of these phrases maybe surprise you with their specific meaning? Or perhaps there's a phrase you're now dying to know more about? Let us know. And hey, if you enjoyed learning with us, we'd be thrilled if you'd leave a 5-star review.
Yeah, please do. Until next time, keep practicing, keep exploring the language, and keep speaking with confidence. We'll look forward to our next linguistic adventure together.